Your headlines, your campus, your voice. Presented by RMU students for RMU students. Join us as RMU Live begins now.
Good afternoon and welcome to RMU Live for Monday, September 19th, 2011. I'm Ed Albert, and here's what's happening. A trial begins today for Benjamin Cope, a Mount Lebanon man accused of fatally running over a mother of two last year. 36-year-old Lisa Clay Stiles was jogging with her two young children when she was hit by Cope's car. Cope is being charged with vehicular homicide and driving under the influence of marijuana. And Pittsburgh's Great Race kicked off this past weekend with the Junior Great Race on Saturday. Hundreds of youngsters turned out at Point State Park for the event, which included activities like a 1-mile fun run, a diaper dash, and face painting. The kids received a medal and a t-shirt for participating. And hundreds of demonstrators took to the streets of Manhattan's financial district on Saturday. The aim was to draw attention to the role powerful financial interests played in wreaking havoc on America's economy. It was modeled after the Arab Spring uprisings that swept through Egypt, Tunisia, Syria, and other countries this year. Here's a look at the sights and sounds of the protest.
It's our duty as Americans to fight for our country and to keep it, true to serving its people. And when it doesn't do that, it's immoral not to stand up and say something.
I'm here myself as a free individual to humanize the markets and to have true participatory democracy, bottom-up democracy, and to make Wall Street hear the sound of what democracy means.
Wall Street, it crashes, and people starve, people lose their jobs, things like that. We're very angry at Wall Street. It's the heart of capitalism, American capitalism especially. That's why we're here today at Wall Street.
There's no reason to not be peaceful. We just want to get a point across. We're just trying to let people know what's going on and why we're here for it.
1 in 7 children in the United States suffer from hunger. At the same time, we're giving billions and almost $1 trillion to Wall Street just for bailouts. Something needs to change. We need an economy for the people and by the people, not by the rich and for the rich.
And the government's doing the work for us. All they have to do is cut some more people's insurance, unemployment benefits, and it won't be a bunch of 20-year-old white college students out here,
What would make today a success? What kinds of changes would you like to see as a result of everyone demonstrating today?
Okay. A success, it's already happening. They corral the bull, and that's pretty much a huge symbolic statement.
They have everything shut down for no reason. They don't want people on the streets, but it's technically a public street, so I don't know why they should close it down.
We talked to a police officer and we asked him what it was for. He goes, we're blocking it for the protest. And I said, for the protest or against the protest?
Still doing the same thing, frozen. Making sure.
I just want to ask America and maybe the world why, if this is even legal or constitutional, the people have the right to speak where the heart of the problem is. If we're gathering here today, it's maybe because we feel that the problem comes from this symbol, this system, and the response is kind of expected, even though we have been saying that this is a peaceful, nonviolent, creative disobedient.
Earlier today, Netflix CEO Reed Hastings unveiled a drastic change to the structure of his company. Netflix will no longer be offering DVD by mail services. Soon, Netflix will only handle internet streaming. A new service titled Quickster will offer the traditional DVDs and also video games for an extra charge. Both Netflix and Quickster are separate entities, which will require separate subscriptions. And sticking with TV, last night marked the 63rd annual Primetime Emmy Awards, and the stars were out in full force. The highlights of the evening included Charlie Sheen making amends with his cast of his former show, 2.5 Men, on stage, while his replacement, Ashton Kutcher, poked fun at him. Some of the big winners were AMC's Mad Men for Best Drama Series, Comedy Central's The Daily Show for its ninth consecutive win in the Best Variety Series category, and ABC's Modern Family took home a slew of different awards. And when we return here to RMU Live after this break, Chris Baginski has the latest news on the Penguins and the Steelers, and Vinny Ruggieri's here in the studio with your weather forecast. Please stay tuned.
Our decision, okay? Sounds good. Thanks again. Wow. That young man has real potential to work here. I guess all we have left to do now is make sure there are no surprises on that face page thing.
Well, I found something I think you'd like to see.
Oh, that's a shame.
How'd you interview though? Oh man, I nailed it. It's in the can.
Extreme behaviors have extreme costs. Her final exam started 10 minutes ago. She'll wake up hungover. And won't remember what happened last night. Extreme behaviors have extreme costs.
Afternoon, everybody. The Penguins had their first team practice on Saturday, and to the delight of Pens fans everywhere, Captain Sidney Crosby was among the players on the ice. Crosby received a standing ovation from the crowd at Consol Energy Center during the practice, which was open to the public. Although still unsure of when he will make his official return, Crosby has been cleared for non-contact practices and has said that his concussion symptoms have been minimal as of late. The Penguins' first preseason game is Wednesday against the Detroit Red Wings at 7 p.m. on Root Sports. And the Steelers took on the Seahawks yesterday at Heinz Field in hopes of redeeming themselves from last week's laugher against the Baltimore Ravens. The game turned out to be another blowout, but this time the Steelers were the ones dishing out the punishment. Starting quarterback Ben Roethlisberger threw for 298 yards, while the defense held Seattle to just 164 total yards, silencing the team's critics. The game ended with the Steelers shutting out the Seahawks 24-0, and the Black and Gold will play under the lights next week as they take on the Indianapolis Colts, who are still without starting quarterback Peyton Manning. That game will be on Sunday at 8:20 p.m. on NBC. That's all for sports. Now with weather, here's Vinny Ruggieri.
Thanks, guys. If you want to look at what we have going on here today, we have a high of 63, cloudy with some showers. It's not very nice outside, but it's not going to rain all day, but there's going to be showers off and on throughout the day. If you take a look at your local map, up top in Butler is 63, Pittsburgh 64, Washington 66, and over to my right, Indiana is at 64, or 64, excuse me. And now, if we take a look at your 3-day forecast, today is going to be cloudy, high of 68, low of 58. Tuesday, partly cloudy, little showers in the morning, but that will soon clear up. High of 74, low of 59. But Wednesday, expect this thunderstorm in the mid-afternoon, high of 76, low of 60. And there's your 3-day weather forecast. Back to you guys at the desk.
Well, thanks, Vinny. Well, lots of clouds in the forecast, Chris, but maybe be able to get 9 holes in on Tuesday.
Hopefully, yeah. A couple raindrops, kind of like that mist in the air earlier today. So, unfortunately, the weather not great today, but, you know, hopefully we can get in some nice fall weather before it gets too cold.
That's true. And, well, we thank you for joining us here on RMU Live today. That's all the time we have. Don't forget to tune in on Wednesday at 1 p.m. for another edition of RMU Live. For all of us here, our producer, Nick Curry, thank you and have a pleasant afternoon.